What up, boys? Just got done with training my clients, and I hit a lower body session today, and I showed up for myself, and it feels great because it doesn't seem as exciting as it is when you watch another person do it on a highlight reel on social media. Matter of fact, it isn't really exciting most of the time unless you lift a heavier weight than usual. But the thing is, depending on who you are, it might not hit the same for most people. Like, it's fun. It's more fun in a group setting. It's easier when you have people around you and the energy is higher. But most of the time, on a day-to-day basis, when you're trying to show up for yourself, whether your fitness journey or your self-improvement journey as a guy, it is going to be boring, bland, and you're going to question what the fuck are you doing, because you don't even know if you're making progress half of the time when you're trying to figure this out on your own. And that's how I was with my self-development journey. And I was tired of being someone who was a shell of himself, who was always stuck in his thoughts, who would always escape through video games and lock himself in his room and goon and like jerk off to some internet porn. I know that was a lot, but you can't say like that was weird when you're the one who probably has done that before too. Yeah, I get it. Like, let's talk about it man to man, right? These are common, universal man experiences because apparently it's normal. It's normal now. People say it's normal, but like, it's not. It's not good for you. It's taking your life away, one little thing at a time. And with League of Legends, video games, or whatever you play, to escape your responsibilities, to put your self-worth in those things, then that is different than using video games as a hobby. Now, granted, I lacked self-control. I lacked self-discipline. Great. Got that point away. I realized that. I didn't have role models. I didn't have people to tell me that that was wrong. It was just, I knew what that was growing up. I didn't have that many friends growing up. I moved pretty often. I know I'm speaking a little fast, but like, I'm trying to work on that. But it's like, I didn't develop strong connections as a kid. And that probably had a lot to tie in going into high school, going into college, because I would move. As soon as I thought like I was well established in a certain community, I would move. And then I realized that, my friends weren't really friends. They were just people of convenience, acquaintances. Because as soon as I moved during high school, after I spent and invested 3 years into a high school, and I thought friends who were my friends, they didn't really check up on me when I wanted to check up on the others, right? As an Asian American, a Vietnamese American, I was taught to be humble, to be a people pleaser, to kind of take care of others, like how I see my parents take care of me, unconditionally. But that also was a con because it became toxic humility. It became more. I started to overcompensate through these things. I started to not show myself as a person, be authentic, because I was afraid of, people weren't going to like me for me, or I didn't want to cause chaos or tension in the room. So I made myself purposely small. I wanted to seem as the nice guy, the guy everybody gets along with. And deep down, I had my own opinions, but I was afraid to show it. And as a result, I didn't really connect with anybody. And as a result, the only thing I connected with was my video games, because that's all I would like look forward to sometimes, because I could place my self-worth there. My real achievements were in fucking League of Legends and my ranked games, outplaying everybody, having a high KDA. Oh yeah, I put in the pain of fucking getting platinum, gold. I had dreams of going to the LCS. Yeah, let me be a pro player. Dog. Like, granted, there's nothing wrong with being a pro player, but when you're someone, I guess, like, I had an addictive personality So like it clearly did not help. I lacked the self-control. I lacked the self-discipline, the discipline itself, because I had unrestricted internet access as a kid. How can you blame me? Obviously, like, I could have done things. I didn't know any better. Anyways, that's not the point. I'm not trying to trauma dump. It's more the point of, if you're still letting it affect you till this day as a grown-ass man, 21 and over, or 23 and over, you got a job, you got a career, maybe you have some kids, and you're still kind of running away in those stuff. Like, you've let your guard down. You've let your standards down. That's what I'm saying. Like, granted, if you got kids, if you're a grown-ass adult and you treat video games as a hobby, this video does not apply to you at all. Click away. But if you know deep down that you know you can become the person you want to become, and yet it doesn't reflect in your daily actions, your daily life, no wonder you feel lost. No wonder you feel like your life is spiraling. It's out of control. You got no purpose. You got nothing going on because you literally aren't working on yourself. It's reflecting through how you live your life. You're living on autopilot, man. You're living on autopilot, and that's how I used to live. 2020, when we got locked in, yes, it was easier to get into those habits, but after COVID, I still kind of, I was going to college. I would play basketball, lift some weights, and then I would go home, play video games, and it would just fuck up my whole day because I played more than I wanted to. Oh, I'll just play a game or two here and there, but it always ended up to late nights, like a 2 or 3 a.m. session. I would want to play with the boys, making myself too available, not having anything going on. Like, because at the end of the day, you're not addicted to the video games. You're addicted to something else, such as a longing for connection, which is why people go on VR chats, or I don't know. Maybe I'm projecting. 2, you have found a real skill that you have invested in throughout the years, and that's what you take pride in. That is why you go to the video games. You're not addicted to video games. You're addicted to competition. You're addicted to being good at something in order for you to compete. And that's why you can't compete in real life, because you haven't developed anything like your social abilities, the way you speak, your physical attractiveness. I'm not going to get into the looks maxing thing. Is the first thing is you can control it through your diet, through getting in shape. When you're skinny fat, when you're fat, you get in shape. When you're skinny and you look like skin and bones and you look like a kid, an immature kid who never grew up, that's when you put on muscle. And that's when you show yourself that you can dedicate yourself to a process that will have utility in real life. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay? Video games are not bad. But video games, when taken to the fullest extent of my life, such as my life, playing video games, League of Legends, 10 hours a day at one point, to escape, to numb my thoughts, to run away from the real world. Oh my gosh, nobody understands me. Therefore, I will just expire. I will just live a life that is a lie, that is fake. I will fake everything. I will pretend to laugh when that shit wasn't funny. I will pretend to get along with somebody. I will say one thing when I mean another thing. I will let people walk all over me, my boundaries. That's what it means. It's not just video games, guys. There's a reason why. And that's just my point of view. That's just how I live my life. Go watch my other videos. Go watch my life story of how I grew up. Watch my stories. I document day to day now because I put in the work, I put in the pain, the suffering, the self-reflection. I've journaled enough to be, like, I'm self-aware. I'm self-aware of my actions, but I'm humbled enough to know that, I'm not trying to say that I'm superior to you guys. I'm trying to say that this is possible, that you can change your life around 180. And all it takes is a decision in your head. I've known this since I was 16 years old. I've known this since I was 12. I've known that I was going to pay back the dues. It's not in a negative way of like, I knew I was playing too much video games as a kid, but eventually I think I will pay it off. Not in a bad way again. I'm going to eventually realize, and it gets to a breaking point. It got to a breaking point for me where I needed to change. The present was bad enough for me to change my future. Back then, I didn't view it that way. It wasn't bad enough for me. Even though I was a loser, I was a skinny, socially awkward kid, nothing going on for me. I wanted to find a girlfriend. I didn't even know of a woman's touch. I was a freaking incel, dude. I don't know. I don't know if that's too far, or I shouldn't speak on that. That's how I lived. It brought a lot of shame. And I think the only way to find out if, the life you want to live is of good morals or whatever, truly aligns, the only way is through. The only way is through to self-improve and find out. You've only been on one side. If you're ugly, you're unattractive, you're fat, it's easy to come to conclusions, but you haven't done a fucking damn thing. You haven't seen the other side. I have been here. Now I'm here. Opinions change. I used to think looks were important. Looks are still very important, but I thought looks, let's say looks are everything. That's what a black pill person would say, because they've never experienced the other side. Obviously, there's this line, right? This litmus test. But I just want you guys to be decent human beings, and while striving to be a better person, get more attractive. We maybe looks max a little bit, because I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit you that isn't really important in social hierarchy or hidden laws of the hidden real truths of the world. Anyways, I'm going on a tangent, but I'm saying that you could be potentially holding yourself back. If you have been thinking about this has been sitting, and that's the reason why you watch this video. I just wanted to rant. But yeah, that's part of my day. Go watch my IG stories. I post on there every day. Try to show out for you guys and how you can get lean and build a better physique. That's kind of what I specialize in. And how it can lead to a better, fulfilling life. Because it allows you to hold more space and capacity and mental toughness for the inevitable onslaught of life. You shouldn't look at it as a bad thing. It is an exciting, a fun thing to chase, because now you're in full of abundance. You have the capacity and conviction to explore life and its truths and what it has to offer. It is beautiful. Anyways, guys, peace out. Love you guys. If you guys took the time to listen, I really appreciate it. And I'll check you guys on the next one.